Hey y'all.
Welcome back to another episode of the Curriculum Chats. I'm Mila,
I'm
joined
Marla.
by Marla, our founder. So, the topic of today's episode is called Different Places, Different Faces. Okay, so as a reminder, though, a couple reminders. This is part of a series discussing the foundations of IO curriculum at IO for Teens Inc. The name of our curriculum is called the Dreamcatcher, a playbook to achieve your dreams. It is on our website. So please do at the conclusion of this video, go to www.ioforteens.org. That's our website, and download a free copy of the curriculum. And this is where you'll find more information from this episode, and you'll find the details from all of the other episodes and classifications that we've already discussed. Also, we recently completed our inaugural career speaker event. So, as part of our career speaker series, the first speaker was UCLA faculty Alex Budak, and he's the author of the book Becoming a Changemaker. So, we have this event available for free. We were able to place it on our YouTube page so that you can view it for free. This was a live event, but we wanted
Yep.
you all to be able to participate if you were able to make it. So please do go to our YouTube video and take a look at that video. And then just finally, just as you know, an FYI, our curriculum is being noticed, and we've got some exciting updates and announcements coming soon. So pay attention. So some things are coming. All right, so let's jump into this first to this module and talk a little bit more about this title, which is called Different Places, Different Faces. Okay, so Marla, we were talking recently about how people, when they think
Mhm.
about diversity, they
Mhm.
seem to only focus on what is skin deep,
Mhm.
right? And diversity is so much more than that.
Right.
There's so many
Yeah.
other aspects of diversity. Um, and so let's talk a little bit why we even added this to the curriculum and why this is important for teens to learn how to navigate different environments.
Right. Yes. Jamil, this is so good because diversity, it seems like DEI, right? Diversity, equity, inclusion. We'll dig a little bit deeper in that in a little bit, but DEI is not it seems like it's a buzzword, but it's not new. It's not a trend. It's something that's been around for years, but because of recent events over the past couple of years, it seems to be something that people are paying attention to, but it's been around for a long time. And so yes, it's something that we need to pay attention to, but it's not anything new. So we want teenagers and everyone to understand that this is something that we're going to have to know and infuse in everything we do. We need to infuse diversity, infuse equity, infuse inclusion into everything we do, not just because it's a particular event happened and oh, now it's important. It's been important for a long time.
No, that's a great point. It has always been important and has always should have always been something that we
Mhm.
were paying attention to.
Right. It's not just color of skin, right? It's different thoughts, different social classes, different genders, different classifications, different educations, different mindsets. That's diversity, not just the color of your skin, not just your outside appearance. That's a piece of it, but it's not that's not all included in there. Okay, I
Mhm.
can throw that in there.
No, that's important. We're going to get more into that in a
Yep.
moment. So, one thing about this topic is that it's also been evolving over the years
Hmm.
because it has been around for, as
Hmm.
she's saying, for many years. It is still evolving. Um, and the concept of some of you may have heard things like, competency or cultural competency,
Hmm.
things like that.
Hmm.
That kind of implies that we have it all figured out. And we haven't gotten diversity all figured out. It's still
Hmm.
evolving. We're still
Yes.
learning. Um, and so there's sort of been this shift, sort of even in the literature and other places
Hmm.
about cultural humility, right?
Hmm.
Is
Hmm.
the idea that you're always curious and wanting to learn more about not just yourself, but others that might be similar or different in
Hmm.
many ways,
Yes.
beyond
Yes.
beyond what you see. In
Yeah,
many
right.
ways, right?
Right.
Diversity of thought is just as important.
Mhm.
Diversity of mindset is just as important.
Mhm.
So, Marla, talk a little bit about sort of, we want to get into diversity and other topics. Let's talk a little bit about what it is and
Mhm.
what it is not. So, let's talk about what is diversity, what is it,
Yes.
and what it is not. And we want to get
Yeah.
into definitions
Mhm.
because that's important. So, let's talk about that.
So diversity is including people from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different social classes. Yes, color of skin too, different colors of skin, but not necessarily So let's start with it. That is diversity, right? Is when you have a different group of people that have different mindsets, that come from different cultural backgrounds, that think differently from you, that look differently from you, that identify differently as you. What they may not have the same pronouns as you do. You may not even have pronouns at all. So that is diversity. What diversity is not is, okay, you go to X school, you have 5 friends that you hang around the whole time. You all live, all of you and your friends stay in the same neighborhood. Y'all ride the same bus, or y'all drive the same type of cars, and y'all go to the same social events. That's not diversity. And even though all of y'all may look differently, y'all may be different types of skin color, but that's not diversity, because you all think alike. You all have the same cultural background. You all may identify as a certain type of gender. That is not diversity. Okay, so hopefully you see the difference there. Now you can have the flip side of that is that you can have a group of friends where you are from this particular, you go to this school right here, but there's another friend that you have that you met at an event in the mall. You and your friends in the mall, you met another friend of yours, this other cool cat in the mall, person in the mall, and they live on the other side of town, but they go to an art school, and you're interested in their art, so they have a artistic brain. So, oh wow. And then you have another another friend that you hang around, that they're into music, and they came from Asia. So they came from a whole different country. So now their thought processes are not going to be the same as yours. The person who's an artistic person is not going to have the same thought processes as yours, and you all look different, or you all look the same, but you all have different backgrounds. And then one of those is LGBTQIA plus. Right. So now the diversity gets even deeper. So those are the two differences. If you're all doing the same thing, and you all act the same, and y'all look the same, that's not diversity. But if you're all doing different things and you have different thoughts, that's diversity. So again, skin color is involved, yes, but that is not the only aspect of diversity. And I think that's where people get confused, that even as adults in the workplace, it's confused that, oh, I have diversity. I hired the first Black person on my team, so I have diversity. Not necessarily, because if your whole team went to Harvard, and you have and then this Black person went to Harvard too, it's not diversity. but we'll say that that's quick. We'll quickly say that that's diversity, but it's not. I had to throw that in there because that's a big one.
So let's talk about the definitions. So we actually looked these up because we think it's important to speak factually,
yes,
not based on
and scientifically.
Scientific. Our curriculum is based on science. Okay, yep. So let's define what diversity is. We looked it up. So
diversity is diversity is the practice or quality of including people from different ranges of social and ethnic backgrounds, and different genders and sexual orientations. So notice in my example how I gave all of those. So that is a definition of diversity. So we'll give you some homework in a little bit so you can be thinking about this.
So that's great. So part of why we added this to the curriculum is because being around people that are similar to you and different from you it's important to be relatable. It's important to understand different perspectives, because that's going to be important in the workplace. Most of the time you may be around people more similar to you as you're growing up. As you're a teenager, you might be around more people that are more similar to you. Your parents, your friends, your extended family may have some similar interests, or they may not. But the chances of you being around people similar to you as you go into the workplace, as you start your own business, it's likely you're going to run into types of diverse individuals that you never even knew existed.
Exactly.
So this is why this is important to learn now.
Yep.
Okay, so Marla, this is the first classification under different faces, different places. Talk about the other two classifications.
Okay, so the next classification, which is, what is it? Strategy and workforce planning. Yeah, so strategy and workforce planning is based off of, you have to strategize. When we use the word strategize, it's thinking, right? So we'll just break that down. So when you think about something, you're actually strategizing. You're thinking about a plan. So when you go to apply for your first job, or when you go to apply for your next job out of high school, you got to strategize and think about how you're going to get your resume together. How are you going to get that career talk together? How are you going to get yourself prepared for your interview? So and that's something we have all included in our curriculum, hint, hint, right? So, but all of that is part of planning. And so that planning continues in the workplace. It continues throughout your whole entire life. So organizations, as you get into organizations, you'll see that, some organizations have full-blown strategy departments that write out mission statements, that write out vision statements, that write out all of these things to help them prepare for the future. Because guess what? The future is coming. It's tomorrow, right? It's in a few minutes. So it's constantly going on. So that's what strategizing is.
And then the last classification
Mm-hmm.
includes the module called cross-cultural.
Mm-hmm.
So talk a little bit about what that is and why we added that to the.
So this is so good. We talk about this because we talked about the word trends. We mentioned trends a little bit earlier, right? So trends come from the world, come from what's going on outside in the world. So if you don't know what's going on in the world, how can you know how to react to certain things going on in the world? So example, let's say you want to be a sock designer, right? And yes, people design socks because I've seen some pretty cool socks out there, right? But if you don't know what's going on with cotton or wool or silk or whatever you want to make your materials, what materials you want to use to make those socks, let's suppose there's a cotton shortage. How are you gonna make the socks? Where are you gonna get the thread from? Who's gonna work? What factory is shutting down in another country that focuses strictly on socks, right? What if a tsunami hits? Where did that tsunami hit, and did it affect a certain industry? So again, I know sometimes we don't like watching news because I'm not a big news watcher either, but you got to kind of stay on top of your industry and on top of things that you want to do so you can see what's going on in the world.
Okay, that's great. So that's a great place to end, actually, because we're going to talk a little bit more about some of these as we move forward.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the other piece that we'll just share is, again, we want to make sure that as you're, getting to know yourself, as important as we talk about in our curriculum, discovering your dreams, chasing your dreams, that you're getting to know yourself, because how you know yourself and sometimes influences how you interact with others.
Yep.
And so we want you to know yourself.
Yep.
We want you to also be open to getting to know others.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Marlo, what is one thing that you want everyone watching to do this week? Like, what's a takeaway? What's an action for them?
Yeah, so great question. So we want you to do a self-assessment. And we talk a lot about this because again, like Janila just said, awareness, self-awareness is the first key of emotional intelligence, which is hint, hint, we talk about that in curriculum too. So, I mean, you hear this, guys, the curriculum is the bomb. So you got to jump on board. Anyway, but do a self-awareness. So ask yourself, how diverse are you? What ethnicity are you? What social class do you identify as? What are your pronouns? Do you even have pronouns? What gender do you identify as? Do you even identify as a gender at all? And then now that you define yourself, now look at your circle, look at your group. And I don't like to use the word attracting, because you're not necessarily attracting anything, right? But who do you mainly gravitate toward? Who do you mainly think that you fit in with? Because you may need to step outside your box and go talk to other people to get diverse thoughts, because you may be thinking one way, but you can learn a lot from other people, right? So look at how you, again, starting off by looking at how you define yourself, and then look at how you define others, because we always see the world through our rosy color eyeglasses, right? When it's really not that way. It's the world is how it is. It's not how, but we see it through how we want to see it.
That's perfect. So that's going to be where we conclude different places, different faces. And just to wrap up, we want to remind you that this is part of our inaugural Foundations of IO curriculum. This is actually the last portion in that particular part of the curriculum, which is simply the foundations. There are several other classifications modules that we have in our curriculum, but this is just sort of the tidbit. Stay tuned, because we are going to be launching a new series on the heels of this. So while we're on that topic, are you subscribed yet? It's free.
It's free.
So if you're watching this, take a minute now and just hit subscribe.
We'll wait.
And we'll wait.
Go ahead and wait.
Go ahead. It's free.
We'll pause.
Yeah, it's free.
Okay, we paused. Go ahead.
Yeah, we paused. and like the video. Go ahead and like the video. But
Go ahead.
more importantly, we
Like.
just want you to subscribe so that you can see what's coming
Yeah.
out.
Mhm.
This was sort of, again, our foundational sort of videos,
Mhm.
but there is a lot more content
Mhm.
that's, again, driven directly from the curriculum that we
Mhm.
have already written and the
Mhm.
curriculum that
Mhm.
is to be written. There are
Mhm.
several other
Mhm.
things even beyond what you see on our website
Yes.
that we have been working on
Yes.
for months now
Yeah.
that will be
We
coming.
have a lot
A
brewing in
lot
the
is
pot.
coming.
We have a lot brewing in the pot. It's a lot of
So
vegetables. It's a lot of stuff in the pot. It's
yeah, there's a lot.
a lot going on in the pot.
It's a little
Mhm.
gumbo.
It's a lot.
Okay, so go ahead and please do like and subscribe, but please do visit the website www.ioforteens.org and
Mhm.
download a free copy of the curriculum. There's someone that you know, particularly a teenager or someone that has a teenager that could benefit.
Yeah.
Tell them about it. It's free.
Mhm.
These modules are free.
Mhm.
Take a look at it. So thank you again for joining us, and we're excited to continuing to engage with you all as we
Mhm.
discover IO together.
All right, guys. See you next time. Bye.